And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Space Engineers. Alright, a little bit of progress on the ship here. I've got thrusters. A lot of thrusters. They're all the T4 Angel thrusters, by the way. And I have, you can see, I've got, what is there, 6? There's 12 in the front. And I've right now only got 6, or 12 in the back, only 6 in the front. I'm going to be putting another 3 on the bottom. Maybe even adding more. But I wanted to get it done enough to where I can maneuver it around so I could get to all sides of it. Now, in order to get uranium into these, I had to build a very small reactor here to power the grid, and that way, once the grid is powered, then I can access the conveyor system. And that's so I went ahead and named those reactors. If we go to the control panel, we go to welder reactor 1, ingot uranium 10, and I want it to be priority 2, so I want very high priority. And each one of those can put out 59 megawatts, and you know, each one of these Angel Fire thrusters requires a little over 3. So yeah, we've got roughly 120 megawatts worth of power. So I think we're going to be pretty good. We could power like, I don't know, 40 thrusters all at the same time with those reactors. So obviously I don't have any armor blocks or anything like that. One of the things I wanted to try to get done, I want one of these docking cameras. Let's see, CONN. So the optics mod that I have on the world is an updated version of the docking camera mod. So I would like, let's see, docking camera, no overlay, docking camera small. So I want connector docking camera small. I'm going to try this out. And I'm going to see if we look. Steel plate. Of course I need a steel plate. ATE. So let me do like 20 of these. I'm not sure how many of these I'm going to need. But as you can see, the docking camera is an offset block from the actual block that you place. So basically what you do is you get a block, say right here. So you want to make sure this is oriented right before you place it. Okay, so I want to rotate that around. See how the docking camera is offset? Well, if you put that right in here, okay, you should be able to then see the camera. So let's check that. Let's make sure that block isn't in the way. So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to set the docking camera here, and I want to set view. So if I hit 1, there's the docking camera. Now, here's the thing. This is smack in the middle of the connector. So this is facing right out from the connector, not the block that we placed it on. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. So that docking camera actually works. It's beautiful. I love the docking camera. Great mod. Just want to get some major infrastructure welded here, so I just want to make sure my ship doesn't fly apart when I start to fly it. That would make me sad if that happened. All this work I've done on this thing. And I can color it later if I want to colorize my ships. Yeah, I just wanted a little bit of infrastructure there. Okay, so let's get... I want to undock the landing gear. So we were gonna unlock this, and we should be able. Why aren't we able to fly? Okay. Landing gear. Unlock off. There we go. Whoa, whoa. This thing is... Woo! Feel like a jet fighter in this thing. Alright, so the gyroscopes, everything connects. It's all good. Now I have a few more thrusters I want to put on the front, just to make sure this thing stops on a dime, because wow, if it doesn't, we are in trouble. Okay, so the other thing, obviously we're going to need some welders and stuff on the front and all that kind of stuff. So I want to, let's see, make sure this is stopped and get out. So look at that. It's coming along nicely. We got the Angel Fire going. I could add, you know, bigger Angel Fire engines to the front, but, you know, the big issue for me is stopping. So yeah, that is a huge issue. That was what caused us to crash this last time. So I want to make sure we need a large steel tube. So I'm gonna get like 10 of these. Large, no, that's gravity generator. There they are. Large steel tube, or like 10 of these. And we're gonna get like 30 of these, just because. Okay, so how do we want to make sure we can stop on a dime? Well, let's I'm gonna turn auto rotate off, because that is really not what I want. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, at least on this side, and 1, 2, 3 on this side. Now, if we really want to make sure we stop, I want to do a couple tucked right underneath there. I think that's a good idea. Tuck them right underneath, and that way we have more reverse thrusters than we do forward thrusters. And I think that is ideal. Okay, so put those away, and obviously we don't have too many ingredients for all of these. And I want to make sure the thrust modules are in there. And for some reason, these major components here, these major thrusters, use a ton of computers. Not 3,000, but I mean 40 computers a piece. That is a lot of processing power. There we go. That's the majority of it there. But yeah, if I type in steel, usually it's just the components that come up. So that's nice. I want like 25 of these. I do need some steel plates. Let me grab 50 of these. I need some superconductor conduits. Let me grab 15 of these. Construction components. Let's do 80 of these. Okay, what else might we need? I've got the metal grids. I think that will get us really far along. Oh, large steel tubes. Oh, a steel plate. Wow, I used a lot of steel plate there. Even more metal grids, steel plates, large steel tubes. Okay, so superconductors are done. Construction components I had enough of. I need a little bit more metal grids, so I'm going to get like 15 more of these. Large steel tubes, I need like 10 of these, I think. And we're going to do like 200 steel plates just because I don't want to take too many trips to finish these off. Thank goodness for the elite welder. Makes this job way faster. Otherwise I would be sitting here welding on these for 10 minutes. Go. Okay, so now we have 12 forward thrusters and 14 stopping thrusters, basically reverse thrusters. And all that's left on this beast is the welders themselves and the body, basically. So yeah, we are doing pretty good on the welding ship here. I want to get, let's see, one of these here. And you know, I could make this a grinding ship temporarily, and I could grind this down. Why don't I actually do that? 0, 1, 2. So if I, let's do GTW twin grinder. Basically right in like that. Oh, did I not set? Oh, good lord. Let's at least put this one in right. Eight. I think that's right. Just like that. All right. So I have a little bit of welding to do there. But with the grinding, I can grind down the rest of this ship, or at least the parts that I'm not using at the time. I do want to keep, you know, the oxygen system in here. That's the only place. All this stuff in here, this is where my oxygen gen is coming from, and I haven't moved any of that stuff over to the new base yet, which I definitely want to do. What are you sneaking over here? More scrap metal from the disastrous ship encounters. So yeah, let me put the scrap metal away. Hopefully that gets taken care of. Steel plate, and this can go away. So construction components, let's do like 200 of these. I'm not even sure what else we needed on the grinders here. Okay, so I need 16 motors and 16 small steel tubes, and that should do it. Okay, so 16 motors and 16 small steel tubes, and then the rest I want like 500 of these, just so I can finish off the armor. Okay, there's the finished grinders, thank goodness. And then I can just take those off and put the welders on and convert it back into a welding ship if I wanted to. So let's come up with a color scheme here. I'm thinking blue. Maybe like a dark blue. Let's do the value. I'm gonna drain it down here, and now I can middle click all the other things, and it will color everything with the new color. So it's all good. So you can color stuff after the fact. Just pick the color and you know, middle click everywhere, and it should recolor everything. Even the reactors get a little bit of color on them. That blue and yellow, I like that contrast between the blue and the yellow. It's really nice. Just painting in space. Okay. Well, those aren't welded yet. Oh, let's get that one. We got one up here. All right. So now that we have that done, now we can add in the armor blocks that we want. Really polish this thing up. Make it presentable. And a little tougher than my last one. Hopefully. Hopefully tougher. Okay, so I want to come up here. That is going to remain there just in case I have an emergency and need to put a little bit of power into there. It's not connected to any system, any conveyor system, so it shouldn't ever run into an issue with pulling out of my conveyor system. So it's a manual only way of doing things. Okay, just circling around here just to make sure all of these have a good solid connection to the system. Make sure everything is tight in there. This is why I've added so many steel plates to my inventory. And then in the cockpit here, I'm gonna just leave that alone. I'm not gonna mess with that at all. So I could poke that down one, but I kind of want, well, see, I can poke that down one. Something like that. Nice profile. And then I can use the angled armor blocks to fill in the gaps. You know, I know there's a way to build, I think it's only creative though, that allows you to build in lines and planes. Pretty sure it is. If it's not, I don't know what the hotkeys are to get that to work. Let's continue this out. So many armor blocks. This is basically one steel plate a piece, so it goes fast. They're not the strongest blocks in the world. So I need to bring these out one more. Like that. Okay. And all these other ones, the ones I'm leaving in gaps, those will all be angular blocks, which I can do later on. I can do those in between episodes, not a problem. I just want to make sure that the whole thing is secure. And yes, you know, adding all these armor blocks does increase the weight of the ship, so you don't have to do it, but it also leaves it a little bit more vulnerable in case you scrape up against something. You don't want one of those cargo containers to pop, otherwise you'll lose all of the material that they contain. who wants that? You know, especially if they're full. It's like my last ship was pretty much full when I destroyed it. Unintentionally, of course. So all the way through. I love how those reactors sort of look. I mean, they looks like this nice green glow comes from the ship. There, look at that. Yeah, I could go crazy with the thrusters if I wanted to. But yeah, if we start to weld this up, maybe these are colored right. Not, I can always color them later. Okay, they should be good. Obviously, I missed a few down here. So let me do 4. 1 there, 1 there. I think that's good. So yeah, a lot of welding just to go through. You know, the ship is a little boxy, but it needs to be, you know, it needs to be able to fit into smaller places. So you don't want to get too crazy with the designs, with, you know, your welding ship and your grinding ship. Okay, that is not needed. There we go. There's one block I wish I would have remembered to put in here. If anybody can guess what that is, you get a gold star. But it would make repairs go a lot easier. So, there we go. Right in there. Oh, so many blocks. So glad the game added these elite welders. Otherwise, this stuff is painful to try to weld these things together. There we go. For the most part, it's welded up. I do have some miscellaneous blocks to throw in here. Corner blocks, and that's pretty tedious because you got to get the rotations right. You got to match it up with all of your different thrusters and all that kind of stuff. But for the most part, that is the ship. You know, and if you want to tag it right, let me go to 4. Let me go to P. So this is 236, 25 or 55 minus 32. Is this blue? So if you wanted to keep track of these things, you can write these values down. So I'm gonna do dark blue. So this is 236, 55, and then minus 32. Okay, so I want to do yellow. Okay, like I said, I like that yellow contrast. So if you want to mark your ships, you can go ahead and do that. Not sure how to do the G, but you get the idea. So yeah, you just middle mouse click and you can do whatever you want. Color it however you want. Oh, got a few more I missed. There we go. So for the most part, that's the ship, and we've got a little bit. I want to put a spotlight on the front here, because yeah, I realize that the game is pretty dark depending on where the sun is in the sky. So we want a spotlight. GHT gives you that. So yeah, that's a good spotlight. I don't want to do the extreme spotlight. I do have the extreme mod on here, so I rather not do that. I want to put one of the spotlights. I want to put one here. I'm going to put one here. Lots of light, just to make sure everybody can see what I'm doing. Over here, so I need some construction components. Not many. Let's just do like 10. Whee, that's bright. So there. Lots and lots of light. I want to make sure everybody can see. And we get in here again. And in order to make sure that we don't die from the grinders, we're going to control. If we go to weapons and tools, I can take the grinders and I can put them down here. And then I just the mouse button. Just the mouse button turns those on. So I can come over here. And just start grinding away. And just start taking the ship down. The parts that we don't need anyway. This will give us quite a lot of material. Alright, well, that will do it for this episode. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.